Hello, biology. The purpose of this video is to get you started on it's this assignment. So making and interpreting tables and graphs. One of my goals as a freshman teacher, and I do appreciate the fact that not everybody in this class is a freshman, but most of you are, is to get you ready for chemistry and or physics and or AP science classes that you end up taking, and to give you some more practice on graphs and data tables, and coming up with good titles and writing lab reports. Anyway, this assignment is really geared to just kind of getting you started and letting you know what I want to see throughout the year. So first things first, you are going to need this assignment. So Miss Simon, if you haven't handed that out, please do. And additionally, give every student one piece of graph paper. If they need more graph paper later on, they can ask you for another piece. So pause the video if you need to hand those out. All right, but I'm assuming that by now everybody does have a piece of graph paper. First things first, I would recommend that you use pencil whenever graphing, whenever doing data tables. So when you make a mistake, it's really easy to correct that mistake. I don't like handing white out to kids, so please use a pencil or be extremely careful if you're using pen. Additionally, everybody is going to need a ruler. There should be rulers in the back of the room. If you don't have one of those, go grab a ruler really quickly. If you freehand your graphs, you will never get credit. You should always use a ruler. Yes, it takes longer, but it's kind of like writing an essay. It's like a rough draft and a final draft. Rough draft is for you to figure out how to make it look better and how to make it sound better. So this is a final draft. We're not doing a rough draft. All right, so we're going to be doing number 1 on this assignment. So create a data table using the following information. In 1940, the population of the U.S. was 5 million. The population increased by 10 million every 5 years until 1980. You'll only need to list each 5-year period. So we're doing number 1. All right, so first things first, let's get an assignment number, or ASSN, and a line in the upper left-hand corner. Let's put your name in the upper right-hand corner. All right. And then we're just simply going to skip a line, and then we're going to put a number 1. All right. Like so. All right. And again, I'm sorry I don't have my Elmo working. I'm going to have to figure that out when I actually get back in the classroom. Okay. So 1940, and we're going all the way up to 1980. So we need to figure out how many rows need to be in our data table. 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. 9 rows, but we also need what I call our header row. That'll be the titles for the types of data. So we actually need 10 total rows. All right. So what I'm going to do is, it's about 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes down. I'm going to go 6 boxes down from the top. And I'm going to put my dot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, I'm going to go 5 down. That should be plenty of room for a title. So what I'm going to do, sorry, I can't actually see when I'm holding this paper up, but I've come down 5 dots and I'm in 2 dots. If you want to come in 3 dots, that's fine, but that's where we're going to start. Okay, now I have pretty small handwriting, so I can fit everything in each row. For those of you that have larger handwriting, or maybe you can't write all that neatly yet, you might want to do 2 rows for each one. So that would be a total of 20. But let's assume that you can fit everything into 1 row. I'm going to take my ruler. And again, I'm sorry I can't demonstrate this on the video. I wanted to have my Elmo working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm just going to use my ruler, and then I'm going to draw a line down 10 boxes. We don't have a tremendous amount of data here, so I'm not going to use the entire page from left to right. I'm just going to use about 2/3 of it. Show you what that's going to look like in about a second. Okay, write it over to about here. And then I'm going to make the other 2 lines. Okay. So kapow. All right, now what we need to do is we need 2 columns. So the first column is going to be the year. That's not going to take up a whole lot of space. Second column is going to be the population. So I'm going to make my columns about right here. And Miss Simon, of course, you are welcome to pause the video so kids can actually see what it should look like. All right, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off my glasses because I'm having a hard time seeing with them on. And I'm going to fill in my 10 rows. All right, so I'm going to hop ahead. Miss Simon, obviously, you can pause the video and wait till the majority of the kids are done with their rows. But basically, this is what I'm doing. Okay, so you're going to do that all the way until the line that's above the bottom. All right. Now we're going to do what's called the header row. All right, so the first column was our year. And the second column, and I'm going to write population all the way over towards the left. Like so. And the reason why I'm writing population over to the left is because I have to put another word in there. This is population in millions, okay? So what you need to do is you need to put, after population, you need to put parentheses, millions. All right, so it's going to look like that. All right, okay, let's go ahead and insert our years. So we started in 1940, 1945, 1950, and Miss Simon, of course, you can pause the video at any time to allow the kids to get caught up. 1960, 1965, 1970, 1975, and 1980. All right, so I've got all my years listed there. I hope you guys can actually see this because I can't see what you're seeing on the screen because the paper's in front of my face. All right, and then let's see, what did we start at? 5 million, and it increased by 10 each year. So I'm just going to center this 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, and 85. All right. So there's our data table. Now, for those of you that have done a lot of these and you've done a lot of lab reports, you're probably noticing that something is missing. Why did I leave all of that space up above the data table? Because we need a title. All right. So what I always encourage you to do whenever you're doing a data table, a graph, circle graph, a bar graph, whatever the case may be, is leave space on the top and then write the word title so you don't forget to come up with a good title. So I'm going to put the word title, I'm going to underline it like so. All right. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the title is, but I'm going to give you a hint of how to come up with the words that need to come into a title. And what I would always recommend that you do is when you have a list of, say, 4, 5, or 6 words that should be in a title, is just write them out on a piece of scratch paper. Write them out a couple different ways with the words in different combinations in different orders, and see which one sounds the most intelligent. Okay? All right. So, Miss Simon, I'm sorry I borrowed a piece of your Post-it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write a list of words that I think should be in the title. Students, what I would do is I would just use this piece of paper. I don't know how much room is on the back. Yeah, maybe just this space down on the bottom to write the words that you think should be in the title. So you always want to include the column titles. Okay, so we definitely should have the word year or years. We definitely should have population in millions. Let's go back to the given information. All right. Okay, so can you come up with any specifics about this information? Well, we're talking about the United States. Let's see, we're also talking about the years of 1940 to 1980. So I'm going to put 1940 to 1980, and then I'm going to cross off years because that's covering that. We might put the years of 1940 to 1980, but I think that's kind of self-explanatory. Also, notice we have an increase. Okay, so we have an increase in population. So I think that's about all we need. Yeah, okay, so here's my list. Population in millions, United States, 1940 to 1980, and the population is increasing. Did it talk about the gender? Nope, it didn't say anything about men, women, children, different cultural groups. Nope. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, just looking at these words, I'm thinking a good title would be something like the increase in population. That doesn't sound. I'm going to get rid of in millions because we've actually got that in the data table. That's pretty obvious. The increase in U.S. population from 1940 to 1980. That sounds pretty good. It doesn't sound like a run-on sentence. Obviously, you're going to have to put some thes and some ands and maybe even a comma in your title. But yeah, I'm thinking like the increase in the United States population from 1940 to 1980. That would be a good title. Okay. Miss Simon, please don't rewind the video and let them listen to it again and again and again and again. I'm pretty sure that they can look at these 4 words and or terms and come up with that on their own. Okay, so write in your title, okay? The reason why I left you about 3 or 4 boxes up there is some of you guys have larger handwriting. It's totally okay to have 2 different rows in your title. And yeah, okay, that's good. All right, so let's go back to this. Your homework, I believe, your homework is going to be to graph this information. That's going to be number 2. Use the information in the data table for number 1 to make a line graph. All right, so I want you to skip a line and put a number 2. All right, like so. All right, and we're going to skip a couple more lines because we're going to need a title for our line graph. So I'm saying maybe 4 lines below your data table. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put a dot. Sorry, my wife's trying to call me. She probably doesn't know that I'm doing a video. Let's see. We're going to need 5 to 85. So the population is actually going to be on our vertical axis, the y-axis. So I'm thinking we'll use the rest of this page. If you did 20 lines to give yourself plenty of room for the data table, you'll probably have to hop to the back page for your graph. If you fit it in kind of nice and neatly like I did, you should have plenty of room. So I'm thinking 17. I'm thinking 17 down. So I'm going to start at my dot, and I'm going to draw my line with my ruler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And my wife has no idea that I'm making a video. I can't be interrupted right now. She's going to just have to wait. Okay, let's see. Years. 1, 2. So we're just going to need to go 10. Now we'll spread it out. We'll go 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so again, I went 17 down from that dot. Okay, 17 down, and then I went 20 across. So my y-axis is 17 boxes, and my x-axis is 20. All right. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up the graph, and then all you have to do is go home and graph the information, connect all the dots with a ruler. You should be good. Oh, Mr. Paulus, I don't have a ruler at home. What do I do? Well, there's a whole bunch of options. You can use the edge of a book, obviously a hardbound book as a straight edge. You could take a couple pieces of paper, fold them. That will give you a straight edge. Most of you guys probably have a ruler at home already. Okay, so let's set this up. What I'm going to do is across the bottom, I'm going to put these things that are called tick marks. Okay, so I'm going to start at my origin down on the corner, and I'm going to go 2 to the right, and I'm just going to put a little mark. All right, a little mark. Then I'm going to skip 2 more, do the same thing, 2 more, do the same thing, 2 more, do the same thing, 2 more, do the same thing. Take it all the way out to the edge. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing coming up. Hold on, let me think about this. No, I'm going to go up 1. Let me think. Yeah, up 1. That's going to be my 5. Skip 2, 15. Skip 2, 25. Skip 2, 35. Skip 2, 45. So here's what I'm doing. Skip 2, 55, skip 2, 65, skip 2, 75, skip 2, 85. Right? 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85. Okay, we're good. So your tick marks should look, sorry, I can't see what you guys are seeing, like this. All right. All right, and then we're going to start with our years. So 1940. Okay, 1940. Take that all the way out to 1980. If you are using pencil, you might need to sharpen your pencil. I've got 2 sharpened. There is a pencil sharpener over by the middle door. On the non-window side, right underneath the Go Hornets sign. And there used to be one there. It looks like they removed it. That is the only pencil sharpener in the room. Okay. 1965, 1975. Whoops, no, we're going up by 5 years, Paula. See, this is why we use pencil. So you're basically taking the exact same data from your data table and filling it in. 1950, 1955, 1965, 1975, 19. Doing it again. My goodness. I'm skipping by 10. I'm thinking of the population. See, even teachers make mistakes. So here's what I'm doing. I'm just listing my years across the bottom. 1960, 1965, 1970, 1975, 1980. Oh, okay, I didn't need to go. 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. Good, we're good. All right, and let's see. Then I'm going to do my, so here's my x-axis, okay? Now I'm going to start with my population as 5 at that first mark. 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, and 85. All right. Okay. Now you're probably noticing there's something missing. We have to label our two axes. The x-axis is our years, so you just simply need to put in parentheses year. All right. Our y-axis, and by the way, x and y-axis. X, the easiest way I remember that is the x-axis goes across. Okay, x-axis across, and then the y-axis is the other one. I always used to get those mixed up in high school and college, but now I have a good mnemonic device to remember it. Y-axis is the vertical axis. That is our population. You don't need to put U.S. population. That'll be in our title. Population, and then in parentheses, millions. Okay. All right, population millions and year. All right, ask yourself this question. Is the data in our graph any different than the data in the data table? Is the data different? What do you think? Data is not any different. It's the exact same data. It's just being presented in a different way. Therefore, we can use the same title we did for the data table. Notice we didn't have the word data table in our title for the data table. I know it's a data table. You know it's a data table. Anybody who knows anything about science and data knows it's a data table. You don't need to tell them it's a data table. Therefore, because we're not differentiating data table and graph, you don't need to, come up with a different title. So use the exact same title you used for your data table, assuming it's a good one. Title, underline, all right, and then write the exact same title. Obviously, you're going to need to fill in the points. Now, because we increased in 10 million population every year, ask yourself, what's the graph going to look like? It's constant. So what's your graph going to look like? So I'm not going to answer that question, but some of you guys that are pretty savvy with this type of stuff, you're like, oh yeah, if it's a constant increase, the graph's going to look like something. So after you're done plotting those points, please use a ruler or something that's straight to connect the dots. And on Thursday, because you're doing this on Wednesday, you'll be turning this in. Keep your hand out. Make sure that your name is up here. And then hopefully what Miss Simon's going to do, let's see, are you doing any more work on this? You are doing work on this. So hopefully Miss Simon, hold on. No, you're doing number 3 and setting up number 4, and the homework's due. So let me think about this. Yeah, you're going to be turning this in on Thursday. She'll be bringing that to me after school on Thursday. And depending on how well your graph and data table look, you'll either get a good stamp or a bad stamp. And when I actually award points for this assignment, the color of your stamp will influence it. If you are absent, well, if you're absent, you're obviously not hearing this video. But Miss Simon, if they were absent on Wednesday, you can always copy the link to this video that I gave you into an email and send it to them so they can watch the video. All you'll need to do is give them the handout and give them the graph paper. And then when they turn that in on Friday, they'll just write absent on it. And that way I'll know to give them full credit. All right, you guys, I hope that was helpful. And we will see you when I see you.